Good morning, everyone. Lim Moore here with Saturday Cup of Joe. I almost said something else. That was weird. I hope you guys are having a great day. I guess I've been online all week long. Today is Saturday. Wow, it is the 24th of January already. 2015 is going so fast, I can't keep up. I don't want to keep up because I want to get ahead of 2015. You know what I'm saying? I am on it. I am joined here with some awesome people. We're going to bring on a lot of great people. Today we're saluting veterans of the United States of America. It's such a great place to live. We're in a free country here. Let me tell you, this is such a great time in life for you to do something different. And today we're going to just chill and give thanks today and see what we can come up with, because you know what? Today is not scripted, so you never know what's going to happen. So, Michael, come on here for a second. Bill, Ferdinand, y'all go ahead, unmute yourselves. Say hello to everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How's everybody doing? I don't know if I pop up on the screen when I talk because it doesn't show it on my end.
You do.
Oh, perfect. Well, look at that. Google's ahead of the game again.
Yes, it's ahead of the game. You're ahead of the game.
And first, I would like to say to you vets that are out there, thank you for your service. Without you guys, we wouldn't have the abilities, the freedoms, the choices. Nothing in our lives would be possible without you guys. And yesterday we were at the mall, and I was walking through, and I always make a point to, if I see veterans, I don't care where I am, I'll walk over to where they're at, or if I see servicemen, and go shake their hands. And it's really upsetting to me, and I always notice this, and I've seen this in the last, I see it usually every time, but it's really dawned on me these last couple times that I've done this with vets, and it's been in malls. The first time was like Christmas Eve, or the night before Christmas, the mall's packed. World War II veteran is walking around, got his hat on, older guy, just walking around. Nobody's shaking his hand. Nobody's talking to this guy. Nobody says anything to him. So I go up, I shake his hand, thank him for his service, and I said, it's kind of sad. I'm probably the only one who's shaking your hand. He goes, no, there's been two. I said, so two out of, and I was pointing around, out of hundreds of people that are walking around because of this man, but yet just don't even think about it. And yesterday I'm in the mall, two little blonde girls. I live in Southern California, so it's it's a typical blonde hair, blue eyes out here. So these blonde hair girls are walking by, two servicemen in uniform. Okay, you see that, in uniform. Now this isn't Halloween. We're not getting ready for a costume party. Nobody else was dressed up, but nobody was going over to them. Like, what? I don't know. To me, that literally, it ticks me off, because I have such an affinity for vets, and I come from a military family. So I don't know. Just thank you guys for your service, and excuse the rudeness of the majority of Americans who don't understand how important it is to come up and shake your hand and say thank you.
Well said.
Sorry.
Well said. Like I said, man, it's unscripted. Now, it is what it is, And I get that. I see that a lot, too, here in Dallas, and everywhere we go. And it's like people just passing by like they're just a pole,
Exactly.
And so since, I guess, here in the last month or two, I've made a point to always go up now to them and shake their hand and say thank you. And it's kind of weird because, I'm with my son a lot. And, he looks, he's 10 years old, he looks and he goes, huh. And I always say, yeah, you should be shaking anyone's hand that you see that's in uniform or has something typed that's saying that, they've served in the U.S., military. Because, they go out there to protect us, to be out here walking around and not having to worry about, anything like that. So it's an awesome deal. Wow. Okay. Wow. So, Michael, since you're on, buddy, tell us a little bit about your experience in the military, man. I heard that you kind of served, and I was, blown away, and I knew there was some kind of driving force with you. There's always something with a person you meet, because there's always a background you're not really sure of, but now I see how you get your drive and your discipline, man. What's up, Michael? Everybody knows Michael Howard.
Well, good morning. Hey, I posted that, and it was I posted it on your on the Video Alpha, but it was actually Roger that I was really impressed with because he had served not only in the military, but he also was a firefighter, I think he said, and a paramedic. It was like 3 or 4 serving type, careers that he had. But I fell into the military probably like a lot of people do. I was 17 when I graduated high school. My father was a 30-year veteran, and I was supposed to go to college to become an architect. Got accepted. That was my plan. I worked hard for it. And like every 17-year-old, I just got a hair up my ass and decided that wasn't what I was going to do. And I ended up enlisting. And, at 17, you're still a minor, so I had to get my parents' permission. They had to sign off on that. And I joined the Air Force because that's what my father was in, and I just did that. And I didn't do anything glamorous. I was in the country club of all military branches. I was a marksman, but that doesn't mean anything. You got Andre in our group and others that really, really served. So the military was not for me. So I'm not proud of my service in the military, but I did serve, and I think everyone should serve. And I think I posted that. I think it's a very important thing as an American to, we talk a lot about all the things we want and all that, but this freedom we have as a country did not come easily, and we're not going to keep this freedom if we don't have people like the people that serve in our armed forces. And it's pitiful. I applaud Ferdinand for what you're doing because I live here right outside of Washington D.C. and some of that disgust that you've mentioned several times, Ferdinand, I see it very clearly in my area. The homeless are all over the place. The veteran homeless, just the disrespect that you see, and every now and then you see. I mean, I am. My heart just falls apart when I see it at the airport. Whenever I'm in an airport and I see soldiers coming back or in a uniform, and then you see the applause that they get, that should be an everyday occurrence in all walks of our days, throughout the country, not just airports, but throughout the place. Because last night, after just preparing for this call today, I wanted to get in the right mindset, and I watched that movie again for like the 5th time. A Lone Survivor. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, that doesn't that's not probably a good example, but if you look at that movie and look at what some people do for our country and for us, these guys didn't do this for themselves. This was for us and for their fellow soldiers. It's pitiful what we do or what we do not do to support the freedom that we have.
Boom, man. You hit that on the nail, Michael. I was at the airport recently last year coming to, I think I was going to Memphis, and someone flew in. It was a military group, of a family member or something, and I was bear witness of applause like that, and all of a sudden it just hit me. I thought, wow, that's the way it should be. You're definitely right, man. I was like, that was such a great feeling that day to hear and see people stand up, and they were hooting like it was a football game, man. You know what I mean? Wow. And you had to join it. Yeah, you had to join in because you're like, heck yes, And you see the wife was crying because I don't know where he was coming from. Obviously, she was very excited to see him, and all that. So, yeah, man, it was awesome. It was awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Oh yeah. All right. So go ahead.
Well, no, I was just looking through the list. I mean, like Eric Godfrey was in the Navy.
What?
Yeah.
These chumps.
Yeah.
He did like 4 years in the Navy.
I know Kevin was. Andre was. or I think Kevin was Navy as well.
Oh yeah. They're right.
Kevin was, yeah. I mean, that's awesome. I can't believe how many people. Oh, Robert
Oh
too.
yeah. All right. So
man.
go ahead.
Well, no, I was just looking through the list. I mean.
Hold on here, Andre. Mute your what is it? Oh, he can't hear me now. Let me keep talking, Bill. I'm sorry.
No, it's so awesome. I mean, to have so many people that close, that you know, that's just it's crazy.
Awesome. Yes, and I'd like to thank you, Michael, for serving. I mean, I know you felt, but whatever. My story is I was wanting to join the military, but me being the last Moore alive in my family, so my mother protested. She was like, no, you're not going to join the military. You're going to continue this Moore legend going, and when you have children, one of them better go. So my 6-year-old daughter, she's thinking about joining the Air Force, which is awesome, So, hey, it is what it is. But I was wanting to go because all my friends enlisted, and they went on, But she was like, no, you're not doing it. No. I was like, really? I said, but what if they draft me? She goes, even if they draft you, they can't take you. I was like, what? She's like, you're the last of the bloodline. I'm like, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, straight up.
Funny.
Excuse me, Andre, are you in here? Can you hear me?
Can't hear nothing.
I see you, and we hear you. He said, hold on one moment. All right, he gone. He'll be back, I'm sure.
Yeah, Michael Howard, thank you for your service, too, and everybody else in the group.
Yeah, I always look at it as no matter what that veteran feels they've done, even you still made the sacrifice. You still went in there. You still took the oath. You still spent your days away from your family. You still trained. You still went through all of the schooling, and you still served your country. I tried to go in, but my honest story, I was a little troublemaker when I was a kid, so I got into quite a bit of trouble. So I passed my ASVAB in the car going down to the place, and I went to them and I said to them, I just want, and I'm not kidding. This was my mindset because I wanted to help out so much. I was like, I just want to go in, train me how to kill people. That's what I told my recruiter. I'm like, train me how to kill people. I just want to go in and take care of them. So I was very steadfast about it. So I'm literally down in San Diego. I'm about to swear in, and I get 3 guys that come in from the side door, and they pull me out, and they're like, here, we need to sit you in this room. And then they had another guy sitting in there, and they're like, we're sorry, but we're going to have to drive you back. And it was like an hour-and-a-half drive back to my house. You've done a little bit too much that we can't accept you in here, so you've got to go back. Our advice is just clean up your life, but we can't accept you into the military. So I was a little pissed. So that's my story. I tried. I was literally about to swear in. But God has His plans for different things. That's why I'm so involved with veterans programs and government programs now. Who knows? I may have ended up dead if I would have gone into the military with that mindset. So God has a reason for everything. So, but I do thank everybody in this group for their service. And I would have gone in a heartbeat. The minute they would have said yes, I would have been like, bye, get me out of here. I'm trying to get out of this life. Get me in here.
You troublemaker? No, come on,
man. Yeah,
I
know, right? No, that who could ever imagine? No.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Wow. Okay. Robert, are you on? Can you hear us, man?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Easy peasy. Let us know a little bit about your experience in the military. Good? Preferably?
Let's see. I was 17 and out of high school, and wanted to get a job with the fire department. Came out #1 on their list. They hired me. Then I got a letter about 3 weeks later saying, "We're sorry, we can't hire you because our insurance won't insure you because you're under 18."
Oh.
So that changed my plans a little bit, and I went and signed up to join the military. My dad was in the military. My grandpa was in the military. Grandpa invaded Normandy in World War II. My dad was in Korea. And so I wanted to join, and my dad was saying, "Nope, not going to let you." Well, he was working as a colonel at the time in charge of all the MPs in the state of California. And so in order to get him to sign the papers, I went in while he was having a meeting with his boss and handed in my enlistment paper and said, "You need to sign this." So kind of basically blackmailed my dad into signing the papers so I could get into the military. Went through basic training, and then came back to California and served as a flight medic out of Sacramento, and we did a lot of search and rescue up in the Sierras when there were big storms and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Did my 6 years, got out just before the first Iraq War, and then during that first Iraq War and since then, half my unit has gone over to Iraq and the Middle East. So I've lost a lot of good friends over there. And so after that, I went to become a paramedic. Worked in East Palo Alto in the early 90s or the late 80s when it was the murder capital of the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And my partner and I got tired of getting shot at. She became a cop in Palo Alto. I became a cop in Daly City, which is on the border of San Francisco. I mean, worst experience as a paramedic is when you're sitting there bringing a shooting victim back to life, and the guy that shot him comes up out of the crowd and shoots him again 3 more times just so to make sure he's dead.
Wow.
That'll make you shit your pants.
Wow.
So then we decided, well, if we're going to be in this kind of situation, we may as well be able to have a gun and shoot back if we have to. So I became a cop. Was a cop in Daly City for 4 years. Right after the academy, before they let you out on the street, you have to ride with a training officer. And the first week on the street, I nearly shoot a guy that's coming at me with a knife. I've still got the scar on the web of my hand from putting it in front of the trigger to prevent it from firing the gun when my training officer knocked the knife out of his hand.
Wow.
So I can tell you what happened every second because it goes through my mind in slow motion. And then about 3 years later, a buddy of mine got shot by a guy who stole a car, and I was chasing him, and bullets went whizzing past my head. And I figured twice in 4 years my life expectancy wasn't that good, so I decided to change careers. And that's what got me into computers.
Huh. Interesting.
I've been doing that since.
Just like that. That was a shift. He was like, well, I've done my time. I'm done.
Yeah, it's a awakening experience when
Right.
you have bullets flying past your head.
Right. I have a few buddies that were in the Marines who come back and tells me stories sometimes. They're like, man, it's just a miracle that I'm here. But he was like, when I was there, I wasn't really thinking about coming home, but I just wanted to, serve and protect. That's all I wanted to do. And I was like, wow, man, that's deep. So that's, it is what it is.
That's what you're thinking about when you're there.
Right, right. Well, man, I'm glad you came on. Appreciate you sharing your story. We take our hats off to you. We really, really appreciate you and thank you for serving. I know you probably don't get the hurrahs and the praise that you deserve, but man, thank you so much. I'm glad that you're in our group, and it's glad to know that you're part of something really awesome. And for you to have that driving force, like I said, to start something else, this is your chance to, uplift others and tell them, hey, I've served my time. Talk to young kids and say, hey, you need to go and do that, get it done. I talk to children all the time. When I was a coach, a gymnastics coach, I always said, man, you got to figure out what you're going to do later on. You don't figure out what you're gonna do, you need to go to the military. That'll be good discipline for you before you even go to school. It's good discipline, and plus they'll pay for your school. You know what I mean? It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. My son's in the Army right now, so
Oh, awesome.
he's a combat engineer.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you coming on, Robert, and for sharing your story. That is, we're so blessed and grateful for you to be in the group. And once again, thank you for serving, man.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Andre, are you there now? Can we hear you? Can you unmute yourself? Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm here.
Boom! There he is. He's there. What's up, man?
Chilling, man, chilling. Getting ready to tear it up this family fun day. Gonna go out and race some cars.
Yes, wow, that's awesome. So you got a fun. This is Saturday fun day. I totally forgot about that, man. Oh, so tell us a little bit about your experience in the military, man. I know you told us before when we had you on, and by the way, dude, you're on fire, and we thank you for all the insight you give us, and let's hear a little bit about your background, man.
It's kind of weird. I don't know how many of y'all been in the Army, but my background has always been computers. That's what I went to college for, computer information systems. So when I got in the Army, I worked in S6. It's basically the networking portion of the military. It's weird because we're actually communications, but since we're like the geeks, they give us anything that you can plug in, basically. So radios, computers, TVs, satellites, everything we had to work on. And so it's always been weird because everybody in that section is nerds, and I never fit that role. So it's like the 100-pound weakling with the high IQ, and they see me in there, and it's like it was always weird. And so towards the end of my time in the Army, because I've always been athletic, so I went to every school they sent me to, airborne, aerosol, all this stuff. Towards my end of the time in the Army, I would say my last 4 years, they started switching to where they wanted one of every job type. They call it MOS, in squads. And I told them, my guys aren't built for this. My 100-pound weakling is not built to go out here with the real door kickers and do this. He might be good at fixing a computer in combat, but he doesn't need to go out there. And so I did every weapons qualification, every school. I made it through the whole SF all the way to Q course, did everything, and went on every mission to make sure that my guys never had to.
Wow.
And it was weird because usually when you get to the sergeant, it's more of a managerial role. Okay, we're going to sit back, relax, we're in the office now. Let the privates go out there and do it. Anytime, hey, we need a computer guy for a mission, I got it. Hey, we need somebody for this, I got it. Hey, every squad is giving up a person for door gunner, shooting out the side of helicopters, I got it. And so they call us chairborne because we're office workers. Oh, you're a chairborne. I kicked Aerosalt's ass. All these guys in every school qualified top of my class. They would get to the end, and it would be, the ground guys would be, hey, what unit you in? You in this unit, that unit? Now, like, S6? No, I never heard of S6. What's that? Oh, I fixed computers. Oh, I got beat by fucking chairborne. They hated it. But basically, anything where it involved some danger, I would not let my guys go. So a lot of people don't realize it, but when you're there, that's like your family. And especially when you get to that sergeant level, it comes down to a point of, they watch my kids, I watch their kids, we have movie nights together, all of this stuff. So people ask me, why did I put myself in that danger? Because I couldn't go back and be like, okay, I let your mom or dad die. I couldn't live with that. So, my last 4 years was hell. That's the best way to put it, hell. And then,
Wow.
I would say what probably put me over the top, I think I might have told you guys about this. I was on the door gunner mission. And a dud hit dead center, the middle of the Chinook. And it dented it, hit it. but it didn't go off. And it was
Wow.
time for me to re-enlist. So they were like, it was usually when you get to a certain rank, you just, hey, I'm in for retirement. I might as well finish it on out. And so, re-enlistment NCO, she comes up. She's like, hey, it's time for you to sign up when you're going to come into office. It's never when you get to a certain level. It's not a if, it's a when type of thing. Oh, I got this many years, and I might as well go ahead. I got nothing else better to do with life. But at the time, I was developing my business. So it was like, I just almost died myself. My best friend got killed on the other side of the helicopter. I shoot out right side, he shoot out left. He just got killed on the left side of the helicopter. I'm making money, missing too many Christmases on Skype. It's no reason to be here. I might as well go now. But those last 4 years were hell.
Wow.
And that's what it's coming down to, especially like I was in the aerial unit, and they have it assigned before you come back when you're going again. So in our time coming back, we were 2 months to coming back. We were still in Afghanistan. Hey guys, we got it scheduled. We're going out on blah 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 2016. Nah, I'm done, guys. I'm done.
That's amazing. That's just absolutely amazing. And Andre, my hat's off to you. But by having that experience, everything in your life you can put in a different perspective, and you look at, and I bet you for you it's probably comical, all the griping you hear from people, and you're like, really? Is your life really that bad? Really? Wow, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
That's intense. That sounds like a book right there.
Yeah, I think it should be a book. Absolutely.
Well, it's like even in there from my start time to getting my new guys on the end, it was just so dramatically so different. It would be something as simple as like, when we get there, hey, we got to set up camp. You got to dig trenches. You got to do this, do this. And they'll be like, oh, I saw this messed up. And I'm like, I would never ask you to do anything I wouldn't do. I'm like, you want to know what I had to do my first deployment? They're like, what? I had to burn crap. We didn't have a nice toilet. It was the lowest guy had to take out buckets of crap and burn it because that was the only way to dispose of it. So I was like, when you have Poop Sue stirring it, then talk to me about digging a trench. They're like, yeah, you can't talk about that.
Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. And today is Fun Saturday for his kids, and I bet your kids, I would just love to come and spend a day with y'all, man, because I know your kids, from what we've been talking about in the past, I know they have this certain mentality now that it's like you don't see among other children. I mean, I can imagine, you know what I mean? Every time I talk, it just blows me away to think how you have done your deal, and now you've kind of molded your kids in a certain way. I bet your family is, like, remarkable, man.
Well, so I don't live too far from where I grew up at, so, I mean, I try to make their life as best as possible, but the only way I can really relate to what they're missing out on, or not really say missing out on, haven't encountered, is I take them back to where I grew up at. I do it every now and then. Like, I go see some old homeboys, and they'll get out there, and it always starts out the same way, funny enough. They'll, meet some little kids around the block. Hey, what y'all doing? Oh, we're just doing this. And I'll hear them, like, sounding like little brats. I'll hear them. I'll just be paying attention, listening out one ear. Man, you ain't got no PlayStation. You ain't got this. Like, no, we ain't got that. But by the end of the day, lo and behold, they're out there with a tree branch fighting their imagination and came back like they got a stick. Or they $50 PlayStation down to this free stick, and they're doing it. Now, I'm like, that's what I like to see. They need the experience of this because it ain't about PlayStations and iPads and cell phones and never miss a meal. They need to experience this other side.
Wow.
Wow. Man, thank you for coming on, brother.
Yeah,
I know that you're busy, and I don't want to take up much of your time, and but I do appreciate you coming on, and we appreciate you being in the group. We're so thankful that you've served, and I know you went through hell, but, it's life. Some of us are picked to do certain things, and either we like it or not, we have to go through it. And you're right, Michael, when you said when people gripe, I bet you're sitting there, Andre, going, why the heck are you griping? You ain't gone through anything, And I totally get it, man. Wow. From this day on, if my wife says, hey, I need you to drive from here to there, I ain't going to say jack. I'm like, yes, ma'am. I'm done. And do it. You know what I mean? because I don't need to be griping. There's no need. No, it's always a pleasure having you on, brother. Thank you so much. And I want to tell everyone that the reason why I brought everyone in here, and we still got one more person to, to go on, and I thank you for joining us, Byron. We have a special program that's called Veteran Pride USA, and if you go to veteransprideusa.com, you're going to see that we have a remarkable story here. And Ferd, are you still on here?
Yeah, yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Can you please touch on what we have going here? And this is something that I've solely put myself into. I know everyone, you've seen my emails, and I know that Bill has been talking about it, Ferdinand's been talking about it. Ferdinand, please touch on this situation real quick for us, please.
All right, let me give everybody a little bit of history on this program. I work with, if people don't know already, I work with a lot of military people, a lot of vets. My mentor is a Navy SEAL, and his whole team is security detail and Navy SEALs. So I work with them on a daily basis, and their main goal, and they're very wealthy circles. So their main focus is bringing GDP back to America, but they want to do it by getting vets by using homeless vets. So they see it as, okay, let's figure out a way to get these vets off the streets because we have agreements with the VA and the DOD, and we can get certain things approved. So let's try to figure out a way to get these vets off the streets. But in order to do that, you have to show some type of program that's successful. So this spawned off of my mentor literally going to driving down the street, having a security detail stop and talk. He always talks to the homeless veterans that are on the side of the street. We have a lot of them out here. We're in California, so you see a lot of them on the side of the freeway as you get off. So he makes it a goal to sit there and stop and talk to them every single time. Now, this is what spawned this program because he wanted to get this guy off the street, but in order to get these guys off the street, you need someone to help them guide their life. So we put them in a veteran-owned household. So we take 6 guys off the streets. We put them in a veteran-owned household, meaning this is a guy that's responsible. He owns a house. He's got everything together, and he knows how to lead. And then we have a van driver as well because we put them in the house. We give them the razors. We give them food, clothes, beds, and then they have a job. So their job now is they wake up in the morning and they get into a van that's driven by another vet. It takes them to our location, that's a warehouse, and they go in there with these canvas flags, and they make canvas flags. So each week they make a canvas flag of whatever, and it's each. So if it's an Army, they don't mix services. That's a big no-no. No, you're not going to have. We have some SEAL flags. Well, you're not going to have a guy in the Army make a SEAL flag. That would never, ever, 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 ever happen. So everybody from that branch of service is who makes that flag, and they sign it, they number it, and it also is followed by a certificate of authenticity. And what they do is now, after the flags are made, they go and they knock door to door, and they sell these flags door to door. That's their job, and they're telling people when they go up to the door, I don't want a donation. This is what I'm doing for a living. This is what got me off the street. So we found that 89% of people were really digging this. They loved it. People that were buying these flags. So my deal with all the partners was online. Let's do something for these guys online. Well, and just to let you vets know that are here, that are on this call and that work online, I cannot be more real with you in this, that these guys, I'm not kidding you, they said that not one flag could be sold online because they felt forgotten. Guys that you might have served with that said, and I almost get I do get emotional about this because it's not cool for these guys. Do you know how lonely that's got to feel for someone to say, I'm forgotten? So I was like, don't think that. That's not going to happen. You're not forgotten. People love what you do. I'll do anything in my power to make sure that you guys get these flags out there. I'm sorry I get emotional, but this means a lot to me. So these guys, every single one of them didn't feel that they were worthy enough to even have a flag bought. So I took it upon myself, got with Lim, got with Bill, a whole bunch of other people, and I said, we're going to do this. We're going to make this happen for these guys because I can't work with these guys on a daily basis and see people feel forgotten. These are guys that serve their fucking country. I'm sorry, but they serve their country and can't even get a handshake. Fucking $20 flag. You know what I mean? Like you guys got to understand this. This is getting them off the streets. If the VA sees that these guys have flags that are being bought, they'll donate houses. So we need to get the shit done. So I can't believe that you have guys that feel that they can't even get a $20 flag sold. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not cool to me. So that's why I'm doing this. That's my whole thing behind this whole thing. So I'm sorry to get emotional, but it's not cool, man. You don't do this to people, especially these guys that sacrificed. I wasn't there in the battlefield. I wasn't doing what Andre was doing. I didn't make that sacrifice. I didn't wake up in the morning. But God damn it, I can give $20. I can give $100. I can give $700 just to help these guys out, to get them off the streets. So it's like I don't understand that mindset because I make things happen. That's why I took this on my back to say, get these guys' flags sold because that's my job. So if I can deliver this message, and I know that when something lives inside you this strong, you can't beat me at this. I don't care who you put up against me. I dare you to come up against me and say that I can't sell a flag. I dare you. Because you know what? I'll get as many people on this call or as many people on the phone to sell flags for these guys. So that's the whole purpose of this, is to get flags sold for these guys to get them off the streets. It's not that we're trying to make money. We're not trying to, dude, $15 of this goes to the vets. $5 goes to administration costs and $6.75 goes to shipping. We're not making any money off of this. It's getting guys off the streets. So that's the whole purpose of this whole Veterans Pride USA. So sorry to be emotional about that. I'm normally a dick and I'm hardcore, but this lives inside me so strong. I'll do anything in my power for vets, anything to help them. So that's what this program is about. So that's pretty much all I have to say.
Awesome. Woo! I knew we was going to have an emotional Saturday Cup of Joe, and damn it, Ferdinand, it's with you. I didn't think I was going to have with you. Really? I love it, man. I love it. Awesome. Yeah, guys. I mean, I totally get what you're saying, man, and that is an awesome gig. I mean, people are going to go back and they're going to see his replay, and they're going to go, holy cow. You know, so, you know, I'm asking you guys to reach out. You know, we're giving you the website. We'll have a link. We've had links inside of the emails. We're going to continue to send that on the rest of this month. And we really want you guys. My goal was to get 100 sold from this group. I know we can do it. It's only $20. You know, like I said, it's only $20. Biggles, by the way, and for those who know what that means, hell, I'm about to give you the chance to buy one yourself. Regardless, so get it there, all right? So with that being said, thank you so much. Ferdinand, you're the man. Stay on. Don't go nowhere. I might bring you back on in a second, okay? So, Byron, I'm sorry for bringing you in after all that. But I'm not.
Don't worry,
Can you hear me, man? Byron, come on. He's living in Dallas. What's up, buddy?
Oh, you know, just the whole Dallas thing here. You know, just living the life.
I heard that. All right. Tell us a little bit about your experience in the military, man.
Sure, definitely. You know, like many of you guys, I went into the Air Force. So it was a little bit different for me. I went in after college, so I got my commission. And I did something a little bit different. Like, you know, a lot of people are on the front lines, that type of stuff. I thought, well, I want to learn business because I want to make sure that I can do something afterwards. And all the bases, you have all the hotels, the restaurants, the fitness centers, all of that. I was the guy who had to make all that stuff work. So that was the powerful thing, understanding how to make all those things money. How do you attract more customers? You know, when you have all the people that are just right there within the confines of the base, like that's the only people you can market to, getting them all there. So that was my experience. Did it for 10 years, lived all over the place.
Wow. So you went to college first, then you served. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
just like, you know, a lot of unique experiences. You know, so like some of the most interesting highlights, because you never think about when you're going in what type of big impact you're going to have. Like, you know, after 9/11 happened, do you remember when all the all your aircraft were grounded.
Yes.
And at that time, you had essentially the military was just flying air coverage. At that same time, though, what happened was NATO invoked the Article 5 of the NATO Treaty. Are you familiar with what that is? That is when the other NATO members come into defense of another member nation that was under attack. So when that happened, I was actually stationed in Oklahoma City, so the NATO deployed aircraft to Oklahoma City. I was the person who had to figure out where all the air crews were going to be staying at for the entire time when they're here in the U.S.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
It's so wow. Man, there's a lot of stories. I didn't realize. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stories. That's wow. I have a buddy who's in the Air Force, Tidwell Wop. If you watch this, because I know he checks this out. He doesn't tell me. He's secret about that. But I salute you too, sir. By the way. So anyway, awesome. Do you have any military brothers and sisters that you can talk to in Dallas or in around the world? They ever keep up with you? Because like Andre said, it's family. Do y'all ever keep up with your guys that's close, that's still alive?
Oh yeah, I mean a lot of the guys that I was stationed with, always still in touch with them because it's just like family. You're always working really close with people, so you just don't like go off into the sunset and that's it. The same type of thing. You're helping out with other kids' homework. Like when you have that little bit of extra, like hey, you're doing that, or sometimes because someone else they had a late night meeting and I'd go pick their kids up from school because they can get access to a sitter, all sorts of stuff like that. So it was really tight knit. Man,
that is so awesome to hear, man. That is so awesome to hear. Wow. Yeah. That's good stuff. Wow. Huh. Yeah. Man, I appreciate.
It's just one of those things that you have that tight knit family. I think it's something that everybody can relate to. That once you leave, it's that one thing you miss, because even though you have so much in terms of opportunity out here, you don't have that same thing. You just pick up the phone and no matter where you go, someone's right there. It's a different world.
Wow. I can't imagine, man. I tried. Mama said, no, I'm going to call her after this, and I'm going to say, you need to watch this. And she's going to be like, what? Because I'm into sending her, church songs from back in the day, and now I'm going to send her his link, and she's going to be like, really? I love you, Mama. I love you to death. I know you're going to watch this, but I love it, but you got to see this. You raised a good boy, as you can see all my friends here.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. But I thank you, Byron, for coming on. I thank you for serving. Wow, that's amazing. I love to hear these stories. You guys are awesome. And you know what? The great thing about it is you're blessed and you have the chance now to actually make a difference in the world. You are actually, you're in a position where you can change lives. And I know you guys, I've been watching you, Byron, for a while now, and I've seen you doing big things here in Dallas. And I knew there was a story behind you. I'm like, he's got to have some type of background or something going on. I don't know what it is. But I know all of you guys. Now I got all of y'all pinned down now. That is awesome. That is really awesome. Billy Boy, you got anything you want to say?
I'm just speechless right now, actually.
I love it.
I just listening to stories. All I hear is books, the stories after stories. I like that stuff. I think that's something every one of you guys should do, for sure.
Right. And I don't know if it's my place to say this, but y'all can correct me, guys who serve. But I don't know. Is there a place that you guys can kind of just talk about the experiences? Is this something that y'all want to do or ever thought about doing? Does this help? Unmute yourself and let me know your thoughts on that. Or do you want to just put that in the back of your mind? Or, let's start with Michael or whoever. Andre, come back on for a second. Is this something that y'all talk about often? Because this is a touchy situation. I'm sure that I can't relate to what you were saying. You're shooting out a helicopter to the right and your buddy's to the left, and you're like, Really? I mean, is these things that you get to talk about, or is that just I don't know? Let me know, man.
Like they have the different veterans groups, you know, like you go to. I don't know if people see them like a little VW places, you know, stuff like that, where people just go in there and be a part of that, and you know, talk and stuff like that. But with that too, they've actually made a new one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's such a big generational gap that it's almost like my generation of military is not quite comfortable there, because to say that, okay, I fought in Iraq and Afghanistan and he fought in, you know, Vietnam, it's both was rough in its own right, but we still can't relate to each other. So when you go in there and it's all the old heads in the VFW, yeah, man, I remember back in '74, I can't relate to that. So it's totally different in saying, you know, I had missiles raining down on me. They look at me like, what are you talking about, youngster? So, I mean, they're developing newer places for us to go to, but for most of us, we only talk to each other. We don't really talk to anyone else about it. I trained a few people, like, for, you know, coach for sports and stuff like that. And the only time I really give it is when I say a portion of it, when I say people need something. Because I tell them, like, we're at the worst. They need to give me 20 push-ups and they're at 17. You know what? Think about the worst time you ever been in. Is this the worst you ever been in? So you mean to tell me that right now, these 17, are you at your worst? No, and they give me the 3 more. And I was like, I know I've been at worse than this. This is why you'll never beat me in a workout. This is not my worst. I've been through way, way worse.
Wow.
And that's probably my only time that I even hint at it. I don't say nothing to nobody else.
That's good, man. That's good, man. Wow, that's good. I get it, because you're like, come on, man. You're on your ass. Do stuff. You're like, come on. You got more than that. You got more than that, because you've experienced it. I totally get it, man. Wow. That's awesome, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to know if you guys ever got to talk about this, you know, because, you know, this is the deal. You know, we're trying to start this new program, and we really want to share with the world that, you know, this group Bill and I has created, I knew it was going to be big, but I didn't think it was going to be this big. You know, we had people wanting to join us, and we're like, no, we're pretty much maxed out, you know, in our group. And that's why we kind of several, you know, there's people in our other groups trying to get in this group. And that's why this is special, because we're able to talk among each other and, you know, talk with each other and be with each other. You know, this is great, man. This is great stuff. And once again, man, I thank you, Andre, for sharing that. You know, I know it's a sensitive part in your life, but I always wondered if, you know, you guys ever talked about the situations back in the day, because, you know, sometimes when you keep that out or inside, you have to let it out, man. I mean, I don't care what it is, you know, you have to let it out and talk about it, you know. Anytime you need to, you know, vent or whatever, man, you got me, man. You got my phone number. You got me, man. You know, you can always get a hold of me. Awesome. What's that, Ferg? Did you say something?
I said they got all of us, and I'll even take it to the next level, to where a lot of people don't know this, but my circles are very high. If there's something I can do for vets on a government level, you tell me. I'll take it to my circle. We'll get this done, because that's our focus. That's our goal. That's what we want to do. That's what we're trying to do for everybody right now, is make sure that
I'm great. Yourself?
these vets can get off the street. You know, the one thing about this is there's two issues. We got America that's falling apart on a number of levels, which is GDP, because we've got so many things that are being outsourced to so many other countries, and then you have your veterans who protect this country and make this country what it is. But yet when they come back, dude, I was listening to a vet the other day, 18 months for him to get his medication.
Oh,
18 months.
That's not good at all.
You know what I'm saying, man? So
that's crazy.
You get people like me, especially that have this drive that lives down and have the circles that I run with. Trust me, you're going to see us change with vets right now. That's our goal. We've been lobbying for a good while. We're getting things done. We have things that are about to happen for vets not just with these flags programs. Don't think it's just about the flags. We're trying to do everything we can to get them off the streets. So we're developing products to make sure that they can be run in veteran-owned companies and in a veteran plant. So every veteran that comes there goes to work. But you can't have some veterans come to a plant and work because they may have amputees. So we have a lot of things that are going on right now. So if there's something that I can do for you guys on the level that helps you on a mental level to connect with each other, and maybe there's some type of program and there's that generation, and I get it because you got the Vietnam guys who came back and who were being spit on and who were being called fascists and pigs. That mental, and being hit with Agent Orange, and being so young that they weren't even being trained for that long, so when they're out there in the jungles, they didn't even get what they were getting themselves into. So that mentality with the new mentality, I totally get it, Andre. It doesn't match. It doesn't mesh. That's why you have the Vietnam vets of America. They kind of keep to their own. They're you see the biker groups and you see the old guys, the long beards. They got to stick with their own because they relate to that. They're old school. That's like my mentor. They're old school. The new school, the ones that old school didn't really tat up too much. New school is tatted all the way down. So there's a big difference of these guys. So if there's anything that I can do, by God, reach out to me. I will bring that up to people, and my reach goes far. I'm not kidding you. There's a phone call away that can get to the president. I'm not kidding on that. So if there's something I can do, I will do, and not just this president, the next president as well. So just throw that in there. If there's
Just
something
like
I can do, you let me know. Anything for vets, that's more important. That's like talking about my son. Anything I need to do for him, I'll do. I'll run through a fire to make sure that that's taken care of. So anything that you need, just tell me. I'll do it, or I'll do my best to get it done.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Once again, go to veteranspride.usa.com and purchase a flag to help the cause here. We're trying to do a lot of great things. The country will make a lot of mistakes, but as people, we have to stick together and do what's right. And I know you have the heart. I know you have that little $20 to buy a flag and to help those vets, get them off the street. This is not going to be a one-time deal that, this is it. No, this is going to be continuing to get bigger and stronger. As long as we're behind, we're going to continue to do it, and I love the whole idea of it, and it's a great way to give back, One
last thing, Lem, I want to tell everybody, too, that the goal of all the partners, of basically all the board members, is to get 10,000 houses. So if we get 10,000 houses at 6 vets per house, that's 60,000 vets that we can get off the street. Now, if we show... And so, share this with as many people as you can. Share this flag, because if the VA sees that this is actually that people actually buy things, because from what I gather, and I can't speak because I'm not on those calls, but from what I gather, it's like you have the VA, and then it's kind of like their own monstrosity in itself, and when you talk to these guys, they kind of have doubt. It's like this doubt, okay, so, well, if people are going to buy these flags, then we'll do something. It's kind of like, well, like throwing it, like, I don't get it. It's weird. So if we can show them, and that's my purpose, is let me show you, jerks, that people actually care. People do want to buy these flags. And these flags, okay, let me just tell you, it's not a flag that they buy at, like, Michaels. No, they're hand painting these flags. Okay, this is, and I don't know if anybody follows like Energy, but I have. Well, I'll show you. The energy that's in these flags. You can see, and I'll take one out here, but you can see it's a canvas print, and it's signed on the back. You can see this guy signed it with "Never Quit." That was something that really meant something to him while he was in there. And so all this is hand painted. All of that, they make the stencils on there. They throw it on the canvas, and then they hand paint it. So this isn't something these guys aren't spending time on. And the reason I'm saying that is, think about this for a second. You got these guys that are trying to get off the streets. Nobody's helping them. They can't get their medication. All they have left is this flag. That the oath they took is a flag. So that's all they have left. So they're putting everything into this. So we need to do everything in our power to share this with people so that we can get them off the streets. Because nobody who served our country deserves to be sleeping on deserves to be sleeping on the cement. They don't deserve to be pushing a cart. They don't deserve to be standing in a food line. That's not right. We don't do that to our people that serve this country. So if all it means is proving to the VA that we got to get some flags sold to get some houses, dude, let's do it. We can't do that for these guys. I mean, come on. It's simple. It's very easy to do. And all it is pressing share. Here you go. Here's what's going on. We got Veterans Pride. Buy a flag. Share. Share. Please share this with your aunt. Share this with your uncle. Share this with your brethren. Share this with your church. Share this with your Boy Scout group. That's all it takes. And then we can change these guys' lives. Because you got guys out there right now that are thinking, where am I going to get my next meal? Knowing in the back of their head they just watched their brother die. How can that be possible? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not right. Now, if you pick drugs and you're shooting up meth, I get it for those people. But you don't do this to those guys that come back on a plane that saw craziness happen. You don't do that to those people. It's not right.
Boom. Yes, sir. All right. Anybody else before we shut this down? Let's see here. Michael, are you still on? Anything you want to share before we go off? Or we have, you know.
Wow.
Robert, anything? Robert? Before we shut it down? Are you there, Robert? I think you're still muted. Yeah, so we can hear you now.
Yeah, something's going on with my mic. Anyway, I mean, a lot of these guys, they relive their time, especially the ones that were over in Iraq and that, they relive that every day. They go through it every day. I mean, even me for my time when I was a cop and got shot at, I can't watch cops. I have to be careful what shows I watch because it triggers nightmares. So they live in their own hell every day, remembering everything that's happened and all the people they lost. So they need all the help they can get.
I totally agree, man. Totally agree. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the top of the hour. This has been an amazing heart. Wow, I'm just blown away, Bill. I'm blown away.
I am too.
Wow, guys, I thank all of you. I thank all of you, and I thank God for all you guys that are coming on here, sharing your stories. And those who are watching this, I know right now you're reaching out to that website. And when you see someone on the street, in restaurant, whatever it is, the mall, go up to them, shake their hand, and just say thank you. I'm sure that goes a lot. And you know what? If you have time, spend time and ask them where they served, and just get to know them. I mean, that means a lot. I mean, I can't imagine being in that position and people are, like Ferg said, they probably don't care. Out of all the people in the world that's walking by them, they probably just, 2 or 3 to hit them, and they just don't. They thinking that they don't care. And you have to make sure that we know that we're aware of this right now. We want to make sure that we are able to say, hey, reach out, say thank you, and appreciate what they've done for the service. I thank all of you guys for joining on. This has been an awesome Cup of Joe. Once again, we would love for you to help this awesome program. Go to veteransprideusa.com. I will also have a link in the description in this replay video. I'm going to send this out on my personal link through the email. My goal is to have 100 from those in the video alpha to give, guys. $20. You can buy as many flags you want to, but my goal is to have 100. Heck, if I can't get you guys to give me 100, I will probably end up having to buy 100 because I put it out there, and that's okay because I know that I'm committed to this. And Bill, he'll have to buy the 50 half of that because that's how we operate.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's all good. But I know there's no need to do that because I know we're going to have help in this with you guys. Andre, thank you, man. Love you, man. Byron, you're an awesome. Love you, man.
Yes,
Kevin,
Yes.
well, Kevin's not on here. But, Kevin, I remember you said you couldn't be on here, so I remembered you, man. Michael Howard, love you, too. And you know what? Robert, you're awesome. Love you guys. Ferdinand, you're my boy. Wow. Wow. Wow.
I gotta put in a quick word because my friends are gonna say this when I share it with them.
Right?
Where's the Army flag?
Oh.
We're getting that. We're getting the Army flag done. We got it. What we're doing is we have 5 different stages. So the flags that you're seeing right now is a 1 stage because this was originally this stage was to see if this is actually going to be something that the VA wants to see. And as they saw them going into the streets and the 89% came in, they're like, oh, well, God, you guys got something. So that's why there's 10,000 flags right now made of each thing, and we're going to start making, I mean, some of these flags, man, they are, well, you'll see them on the site, but
that's why I was looking. I was like, "There's no Army." They're gonna be like, "Man, where's ours at?" So like,
Yeah, exactly. Where's the Army in this, man?
You know, like here's some, and these are some of the first ones made. So, and this one is actually part of the next run that's coming by. Well, that's one that I got. It's not even Alfred, but like "Freedom is Not Free" is one that's on the site. There's, you know, "God Bless America." There's another one. There's the "Land of the Free, Home of the Brave" flag, and then there's a couple more because now, honestly, what's really cool, you guys, and I want to share this with you because this is really interesting. I got an email from the guy in the house that runs a house, and he said, "Can you put these new images up on the site because these guys are more proud of these." Because they'd seen some orders come. Dude, you know how happy that made? So now you got these guys that are going in there making these flags that are like, this matters. I matter. You see what I'm saying? Dude, that's what we got to do. That's what it's about. So when I get emails like that and they're like proud to do this now, and you can tell, dude, you can see in the, like my flag, you know, there's spackles and you can see a bunch of, you know, paint spray. On the new ones, dude, it's like they're so, like, they care about every single speck. So that, to me, shows this is working. What we're doing is working. So all we got to do is spread the word. And then, so now you got guys, just think about the power of this, you guys. You got guys that were on the streets that literally were thinking in their head, I don't matter. Who's going to even, I want $1 to eat. I need some food. Now they got food. Now they got shelter. Now they got razors. And now they have a purpose because they're seeing that people actually care. Dude, do you see how powerful? Dude, I don't know. That, to me, that's huge. That's massive on a major scale because you've just changed the whole mindset of a man who served for our country, who literally thought he was forgotten from a flag. Get it? Like, that to me, that's where it's at. That's what it's about. So as much as we can do for these guys, I'm all for it. So if you guys are in support of that, I'm in support of you guys. I'll do anything in my power for you guys. I just want to get these guys off the streets. That's my main goal.
Awesome.
Yep, exactly.
Wow. All right. Well, with that being said, guys, watch for the replay. Go to SaturdayCupOfJoe.com/live to watch the replay. It will be there for a whole week. Of course, I'm going to continue to send you emails and let you know about this great, awesome program because we're not going to forget about it today. We need to get this done. It's a must. I never much ask you for anything, but I'm asking please help us do this so that we can get those guys off the street. Once again, guys, thank you for joining me. You guys are awesome. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Thank you guys for your service again.
Thank you.
Yes, we'll talk to you soon.